Our next item on the agenda is,
Oh, yes. 9B, consider next steps for intergovernmental collaboration with legislative partners.
So this is a follow-up from the last meeting. One of the items that the board requested be brought back was a list of items that could be done following passing ordinance 3001 prohibiting or enacting legislation that prohibits conversion therapy. So some of the items that were outlined, briefly discussed throughout the scope of that meeting, are highlighted within this memo. And then the last is any other methods that you as trustees would elect to pursue. So if you'd like me to review them, I'm happy to.
can you?
Sure. So number A under agenda items for discussion. A, the first one was send letters of support to state legislative officials who are proposing and supporting AB 111, which is legislation that is also very similar to that of which we had just passed individually for our municipality. B would be to send letters to our local state legislative officials requesting them to also support AB 111, so that they know our stance on it and bringing that to their attention. C, an option would be to recommend that President Rosick request this item be placed on the Intergovernmental Cooperation Council. I'm sorry, there's a typo there, it says county, but council for the ICC, to bring greater awareness and then also request the other municipalities' support for that item. D, which is recommend trustee Bachforce, also president of the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, request this item be placed on the league board agenda to discuss potential lobbying efforts in support of like legislation in other municipalities. And then E is also to ask if there are any other methods that trustees desire to explore. And I was remiss, I apologize. I should have started by letting you know that there's been a press release being drafted that will also be forwarded to Forge, the City of Milwaukee Equal Rights Commission and Solidarity Network for their input. You know, for example, if they'd like to add any quota support, that would then, we'd anticipate releasing the week of July 8th following the holiday. Because typically it becomes tough to get noteworthy news out during a holiday week.
I'm supporting all of the above. Trustee McCabe?
Yeah, I'm in support of all that, and I really appreciate having it all outlined, because it is really helpful, and it's exciting. So with the letters of support, would we kind of like sign them as a board, or would we write them individually on our own?
I would write a letter on your behalf that then would get transmitted with the ordinance in support to the
Yeah, I think we've done that in the past.
legislative official.
Yeah, I support.
If you would like to individually submit your, I mean, I'm happy to collate it.
So I think it's much better.
Oh, okay,
So a united effort.
okay.
I know the
Just-
county executive is part of the ICC, but does it make sense to forward this to our county supervisors and ask the county to join with us and take a similar stance?
Oh.
Yeah.
We can certainly do that.
Be happy to add them to the list.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could do the same correspondence, similar to what we're doing, well, because you're right, I say our local state legislative officials, but we should include county within that list.
Yeah.
Great suggestion.
I think it would be
Trustee.
County Supervisor Moore Okamunde, who's the chair of the Health and Human Needs.
Or just the chair of the board. And ask him to share this board.
And Sheldon is our county supervisor, so I mean, we should definitely reach out to our local, to those that actually represent us.
Okay, anything else? Trustee Bachus?
Yeah, just for clarity, so what are we, let's see.
You're looking for the
Yeah,
recommended motion?
Yeah.
So it would be, the suggested motion is I move to recommend the following, and then that's where we would, if there's an agreement, you know, the A through E listed above with the addition of also notifying our county representatives to support the prohibition of conversion therapy.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a way, not tonight, but just to standardize that? Like, meaning when we do something that, you know, say we passed decriminalizing marijuana, just pick another one, and say we passed something, and we know it's at the state level, is this, you know how you formalize communication plans, but is there like, then the next practice, the board would say, maybe direct the manager to blah, 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 but, so we don't recreate it every time?
I'd be happy to just keep this as my,
Template?
yeah.
Okay,
Great.
all right, trustee Bachhorst?
Okay, so my understanding then is that we are doing we are advising that all 6 of those things happen.
Correct.
So when you say we, so this will be passed at the board level, and then what does that mean as far as enforcement? Nathan?
Enforcement of the ordinance or the communications plan?
Yeah, I mean, like, what are we,
We're just agreeing that those are the steps we want to take.
So in this, the press release and A and B would be done by me. C would be executed by President Rozak, and D would be executed by you, trustee Bachhorst.
okay, so thank you for that clarification. So I'm not sure how well versed you guys are with what the League of Wisconsin Municipalities Charter is. It's a nonprofit organization. It's also nonpartisan. I'm certainly happy to bring this to, but it's a lot different than elected officials who, you know, make laws. The league does have a lobbying component, but primarily the league ensures that municipalities have local control and, you know, are able to govern. So I am more than happy to bring this. We have a legislative council meeting coming up shortly, but just know that we tried to do something similar with sanctuary cities recently to promote that, and that failed. And I'm not saying this would fail, but
I think it's just,
not really. It would be, to me, it would be stronger if our board sent a letter, you know, to the league saying that we, as the Village of Shorewood, voted unanimously on this, and I think also for the ICC for that matter, instead of putting one person, because I am the president of the board of directors, but I do not have complete authority to set the agenda for the full board, nor would I take that. You know, we have a very collaborative process, but it's in strength, and to President Rozak's point, you know, I drew this before, we're stronger when we're together. So if we have a messaging concert from this entire board, and hopefully the school board will, you know, together, that would go a lot longer than if it were just Tammy Bachhorst, village trustee, and president of the league recommending that. I would see it as less draconian, let's just say, than if I am saying, hey, you guys, I want you to do this, versus we're supported by the Village of Shorewood. The Village of Shorewood is asking other municipalities across the state to consider this as well.
I think if I'm hearing correctly, and I could be wrong, but it is directing, like, for me, just to, on future agenda items for the ICC, to just bring it up as, you know, the Shorewood, Village Board of Shorewood has voted to, you know, on an ordinance to prohibit conversion therapy. I've been asked by the board by majority vote that, you know, that to mention it to the ICC and see if it's something that this board would like to take up. I don't know that I can control whether they want to take it up or not, but
I can't.
no, but I think that's what you're suggesting, is just bringing it to the attention and making that request as a liaison. Trustee Maher.
Yeah, I agree with Trustee Bachhorst. Her role, her role as president of the board league is different than her role here as an elected official. And we really can't direct the president of the league to do an action. I think the suggestion that we as a board send to the league, who we are a member of, and request that their either the league board or their lobbying committee consider either sharing our ordinance or at least promoting the safe ordinance from us board to the league, not to directing.
I support that. Maybe it could be the same letter that you're sending to the other elected.
And to the ICC, I guess, to make it consistent. Just Trustee Carpenter.
Yeah, I would support sending a letter and asking you for your additional support, and also reminding the league that we are also a nonpartisan board, and that this is something, at least in my view, that this is not a partisan issue.
Oh, I was just giving background about the
No, yeah, but I think that that's also something that, you know, is important to know, like, to your point, that is a nonpartisan board, and so are we. And so, because I would assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there are probably some conservative municipalities that are being represented by the league as well. And so, you know, I think making that statement, in addition, in specific for the league, that this is a nonpartisan role.
Well,
Thank you. Can we not crosstalk? So just address the chair, and then if you want to speak, I will call you. All right, thank you. Trustee Amenta?
Do we pay to be members of the league? Do we not?
We do.
And I assume there's some process, like I read in the magazine, that, I mean, the league is always coming out very in favor of, against any restrictions on tax increment financing, and they're very supportive. So, I mean, there must be some process that the league goes through in order to decide which issues they are going to advocate for with the legislature. So I guess the request is that this item be put forward for consideration into their hopper of things that they will consider lobbying on behalf of. So whatever process they go through and whatever Trustee Bachhorst's involvement is in that, I don't really know. But I mean, we do pay to be members of the league, and I mean, I would think this is something that is of importance to this board and our community, and that we have some role in asking the league to represent our interests in their lobbying efforts at the state.
Thank you. Trustee Bachhorst?
Yeah, we have every right, and as paying members, we certainly do as a board. But to go back to Mr. Macher's point, I'm the president of the league. I'm also of Shorewood, on the Shorewood Village Board. So I would hate to put myself in a position of conflict of interest here as well, which I will refuse to do. But I am, as an individual and as a trustee, I am more than happy to bring this to the league board, but not to say that you are mandating the president of the league board to bring this. That may even be illegal. So I am not going to put myself in that spot of being mandated as the league president to do something on behalf of the village of Shorewood's board. So that's where I'm at that.
Trustee McKay?
So I will amend my motion to make that distinction around item D.
D and the ICC around.
Right, that we would, why don't we say that we'll contact all of the entities mentioned within the memo, A through E, E being the county board, by sending a letter that's consistent with each in our support.
Like a proclamation.
And the board has to unanimously allow the amendment, the change in your motion.
Yes, so I'm working on it. So
Yep.
basically, I would just amend that we would we would send letters of support to state legislative officials proposing AB Assembly Bill 111, that we would send letters to our local state legislative officials requesting that they support Assembly Bill 111, and that we would send letters to the ICC and the League of Wisconsin Municipalities and the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors requesting that this item be placed on their agendas for consideration for support.
Okay, is everyone in agreement with the change in the motion?
To my second.
Second.
Okay, everyone's okay?
So
All right, so we have a modified motion by unanimous consent. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Okay, next we are on to reports
Yeah.
of the village officials. Village president, looking forward to 4th of July. And maybe in your trustee report, you can hear what we're supposed to do or how we're going to coordinate. And I think that's it for now. I'm sure there's more, but I can't remember. And now, any trustee that has a report? What's your comment?
So just a couple things about 4th of July. So I believe Trustee Menta and Trustee Warren will not be there. I'm not sure, are you walking with us or are you?
In a car, I have no idea. I'm waiting for them to tell me.
Okay, and then Manager Ewald will be walking with us, so I think and Trustee Myers will be there, so the only people, I've not heard confirmation from.
I think it's doubtful that I'll be there.
Okay,
Likewise.
okay, so then we'll just plan, because I'm purchasing candy tomorrow, so I'll just plan that both of you guys will be there. And a wagon and decorations and a banner, so we're on our way. So,
All right.
All right.
And someone will tell us where to stand, right?
yes.
Okay. Any other trustee that has an update? Trustee Menta.
I don't know if everybody managed to get to one of our meetings. There were two on the 26th on the transportation and parking. I went to the 1 p.m. And there were, I don't know, probably about 25 people there at 1, and I heard there was a bigger crowd at 6. So I think they were pretty well attended, and hopefully we'll be able to, keep the ball rolling with public involvement and opportunity for input on the transportation parking study.
Thank you. Anybody else? If not, Rebecca? Okay.
But have a safe holiday.
Good.
I'll see you on the 4th. Any items for future consideration? Trustee Menta.
It's going to move reconsideration, but I think I'm just going to hang on.
Okay, I would, but I think I voted nay, so I don't know.
I guess I would like to ask the bid to work with, well, one thing I'd like to, and I emailed Rebecca about this earlier today, is I think by end of February, beginning of March, because we start with festivals March 17th, the shenanigans now. I'd like everyone to come in before that date with what dates they're asking for approval for special permits and for road closures. So we have some ability to plan, and we're not getting them piecemeal and then having to say no to somebody when just because somebody got in first. So we need some way to be able to plan this in a better, more reasonable way. And I would like to think the bid could be responsible for that, but maybe not. So in any case, I think we need to let all the businesses know, this would be my preference, that they come to us late spring with their plans for the summer and any projected road closures.
Is there any way to reach out to the bid and just ask, like Paul said, would you consider?
Yeah, so I really like the idea, like I think we know what comes up at different points, but I think it is, especially for road closure,
I know for this event,
you know?
I know we already approved it, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure not, well, I'm not sure, but if there wasn't a reason for that one date, and they said, yeah, that following weekend would work. Like just asking?
Oh, if the bid could move their event?
Seasons.
Yeah, I just don't, not in a mean way, I mean, we've already voted to approve it, but just reach out and say, oh, there is 2 road closures in one weekend, is there any, they may say no or yes, but we can't force them to do anything, we already approved it, but reaching out isn't a bad thing.
Sure, any one of us could do it.
Although, I would think we'd be Rebecca, but.
I'm happy to explore it with them, or just kind of mention it, but from my understanding, they moved forward.
Oh, they did, okay, that's fine, I didn't know things were already published, so that's
When
fine.
they came before us, they gave a lot of information about things that were already set, or interests that they already had based on that date. I mean, obviously they couldn't do it formal, but.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Seeing nothing, we will have a motion for adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion to adjourn, a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Have a great night.